So, TikTok is back at it again. This time with a theory so wild it's got my melanin confused and my ancestor side-eyeing me from the spirit realm. Gingers are black now. Or should I call them gingers now? Gingers. Gingers. You heard me right, like past the hot sauce and shea butter kind of family. And you know what? As chaotic as it sounds, TikTok might actually be onto something. What's good, Wave Makers? It's your boy Complex, and today we're breaking down how this trend started, why it's weirdly wholesome, and how two groups that society constantly roasts might have just formed a spiritual alliance. Redheads and black folks. Let's get into it. I'm shooting for the stars. Why don't I answer your calls? I never changed, I evolved. Taking my dreams far as they can. Okay, so the trend kicked off with a few TikTokers saying things like, gingers are the black people of white people, which sounds like a line from a bad sociology paper, but hear me out. It started as a joke, people pointing out how gingers face discrimination in white spaces the same way the black folks do in broader society. Like gingers get clowned for their freckles, hair, and paleness the way that we get clowned for literally just existing at 8 a.m. on a Monday. And then one woman's hot take went extremely viral.
I just need to remind y'all again, everyone who is ginger, who has red hair, those are black people. All gingers are black people. If they have red hair, they are black. You see a white man with red hair, that's a black man. You see a white woman with red hair, that's a black woman. Gingers are black. All gingers.
The TikTok amassed over 6.5 million views, over 5.9 million likes, and the comment section was filled with people agreeing, gingers happy to be accepted into the black community, and jokes about Ed Sheeran's next rap album. And as trends always go on TikTok, because TikTok has no chill, it got wild.
Alright, listen up, white folk. Now that gingers have finally been claimed and are able to take their rightful place with our black brothers and sisters, we gotta set some ground rules for the rest of you male-looking ass people. First up, you cannot use the G word anymore, okay? That term is reserved for us, and also all black people now have the G word pass. We are part of the BIPOC community, okay? We are POHC, people of hair color. Number 2, if you use SPF 50 or higher, that is cultural appropriation. And no, we are not all Irish, okay? That is a stereotype. And to tack on to that, leprechaun is also a slur too. Number 3, no, you cannot ask us if the curtain matches the drapes, okay? We are not here to be fetishized, we are not here for your amusement. We will also no longer be standing for the media portrayals of gingers, particularly ginger women, as being hypersexual vixen temptresses. Dolly Parton, you get a pass for Jolene. Everyone else, no.
Next thing you know, redheads were showing off their dance skills, putting hot sauce on everything, and playing 2K with soundtracks in the background like, see, I got soul. We even had duets of redheads rapping hip-hop songs like their lives depended on it. Basically, it turned into a meme, then a hot take, then a conversation, then a cultural exchange that nobody saw coming. Like a weird barbecue you showed up to accidentally and ended up having the time of your life. I'm shooting for the stars. Why don't I answer your calls? I never changed, I evolved. Taking my dreams far as they can. Now let's talk facts. Because despite the TikTok chaos, there are some wild connections. Both redheads and black people carry on unique genes that get passed on recessively. Only about 1 to 2% of the entire world has natural red hair. Compared with black people being just 13% of the US population, we're both rare. Also, gingers are known to feel pain differently, metabolize medication differently, and have a complicated history of being othered. Sound familiar? Sounds like the genetic remix of what it means to be melanated and misunderstood. The truth is black people and redheads have two different rare types of melanin. Black people have EU melanin, which produces brown and black pigments in hair. And redheads have pheomelanin, which produces a red or blonde pigment. And don't get it twisted, this ain't the oppression Olympics. Nobody's saying redheads and black folks have the exact same struggle. But we might be two sides of the same spicy coin. One's got paprika, the other's got cayenne. The Gingers Are Black trend highlights the idea that redheads may experience some of the same discrimination and social experiences that black people do. But it's important to recognize that race is a social construct. We all bleed the same color and face some of the same problems. And that's the agenda of unity that breaks the barriers of any facts trying to kill this trend. I'm shooting for the stars. Why don't I answer your calls? I never changed, I evolved. Taking my dreams far as they can. Honestly, one of the best things about this trend, it's low-key healing.
Okay, so for those of you who are seeing this Gingers Are Black trend, you don't know what's going on, and especially for the haters, because God knows you motherfuckers are watching. and we know exactly who you are. The ones who are out here screaming, "Oh, if gingers aren't black, they're just using the..." Like, dude, listen. Let me break it down for you why this is going as viral as it is and why y'all don't get it. All right? Clear, plain and simple. If you are a redhead, a real redhead, you likely got bullied your entire life for having red hair. If you're like me, you've been called fire crotch, carrot top, gingers have no soul, rather be dead than red. My own dad used to bust my balls with that one, right? Leprechaun, my mom called me that this morning. Do the carpet smash the drapes, like all this stuff. Like, yeah, we've all heard it all. All right. If you're like me, that shit never came from the black kids. I don't think I've ever been made fun of for my hair and for being a redhead once in my entire life by somebody who was black. As a matter of fact, I was always friends with the black kids. They always welcomed me in with open arms and never gave me a problem. So to me, when this whole thing popped off, it was no surprise at all. Because first things first, as a redhead, we never felt like we fit in anywhere. The deal is, man, like, black people are super accepting. They're always loving. They're always fun. They always kind of include everybody. For all y'all who are showing us all the love out there, who are welcoming us in with open arms, we love you. We appreciate you. We thank you very much. You know, for all the bullies out there who are still trying to talk shit, dude, it ain't working anymore. All right? Drop it. Enough's enough. Cool?
It takes two groups that have historically been clowned, black folks for our culture and redheads for their looks, and says, "Nah, we cool, we vibing." Black creators out here saying, "You know, redheads got rhythm, struggle, and soul, let them in." Meanwhile, gingers are showing love back, hyping up black creators, participating in trends without stealing, and even saying, "Yeah, we know who built the culture, we just visiting respectfully." It's giving solidarity. It's giving, your struggle might not be mine, but I see you. And that kind of energy, that's what we need in this world. I'm shooting for the stars. Why don't I answer your calls? I never changed, I evolved. Taking my dreams far as they can go. Alright, now before y'all go and start printing Red Lives Matter t-shirts, let's slow it all the way down. Because while this trend is cute on the surface, we gotta talk about the possible hidden agendas in there. See, the main problem is when redheads, or folks in general, take this trend as a free pass to cosplay blackness. You can't just duet a Megan Thee Stallion song and then suddenly decide that you got soul. That's not how that works. I don't care if your freckles form the shape of Africa. Being marginalized adjacent ain't the same as living in it.
Good morning, boss. What's up, my nigga? Don't say it back.
Another issue, this trend risks watering down what it means to be black. When identity becomes a punchline or an aesthetic, especially to folks who can hop in and out of it whenever they want, we're no longer talking about culture. We're talking about costume. The next thing you know, folks are saying, "Man, I had a tough time in high school, so I totally get police brutality." Excuse me? And worst of all, you know the internet doesn't know how to let a joke die gracefully. A trend that started off as funny and kind-hearted could quickly morph into a bunch of redhead creators talking over black creators, trying to prove their blackness instead of just being allies. When support turns into a performance, the whole message gets lost in the sauce. I'm shooting for the stars. Why don't I answer your calls? I never changed, I evolved. Taking my dreams far as they can. This trend, goofy as it is a tiny example of how Gen Z and TikTok especially rewires culture in real time. Mix it, flip it, play with it until it makes sense or it makes us laugh. If redheads and black folks can build a bridge out of memes, shared side eyes, and hot sauce jokes, imagine what else is possible.
Welcome, gingers. Or should I say ginjas? We don't be using that hard R. This has been a long time coming. I've always liked the redheads. Some of the greatest black people of all time are redheads. Malcolm X, Blake Griffin, Bill Burr. Some of the top niggas of all time is redheads. Welcome. This seems like a very strategic coalition, actually. I'm glad this is happening. There's strength in numbers. Because you think about it, black people invented woke. Redheads have trouble falling asleep under anesthesia. You're literally woke. You're genetically woke. So, that's, probably Irish or Scottish. Not a big fan of the Queen of England. Neither are we. So I feel like, just look at what we have in common and form coalition. I agree. Also, I like this strat. Maybe we need to bring on the Cambodians too. Because this is a very SoCal coded joke. But Cambodians, they're Crips. And they be at a Hawaiian barbecue with neck tats. Those are black people.
I am loving this gingers are black thing that's going on right now. And it's just good to be, accepted, embraced, and finally witnessed and seen after just millennia of absolute chastising and separation from what feels like everybody in some way or another. We were burned at the stake. We were considered witches and wizards and aliens, and we got some funky DNA mutations as well, which is kind of fun. We can handle a lot of heat. We can handle a lot of pain. We went from ridicule to radical. We went from being made fun of every day to being fetishized heavily. But I'm here with you. I'm just your ginger from another mister. I don't know what the saying would be, but yeah, we can be friends now. Holla at your ginger.
Maybe solidarity doesn't have to start with protest and trauma. Maybe sometimes it starts with a TikTok where a ginger says, "My ancestors got sunburned for your freedom." This trend won't change the world, but it reminds us that humor builds community. And sometimes a meme is the beginning of understanding, not the end. So yeah, gingers are black people now, at least spiritually. We've got red-headed cousins at the cookout, and honestly, I'm not mad at it. Just don't bring raisins in the potato salad and we gonna be alright. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe for more commentary. And drop a comment if you've seen this trend, or you've got a redhead friend that low-key has some rhythm. And if you're a redhead watching this, don't get too comfortable. You still gotta learn the electric slide, the cupid shuffle, and the wobble before we make this official. Thank you for tuning in. If you made it to the end, you are an amazing person, and your support goes a long way in helping me provide more thoughtful and engaging content as we grow. Until next time, much love. We out here. Peace.